Hi, I'm Misty, for those of you who don't know me, and I have been practicing the law of attraction for more than 15 years. I started teaching these alignment sessions last year for a really simple reason. I realized I was very good at doing, very good at figuring things out, very good at making things happen, but not always good at allowing things to happen. So I made a quiet deal with myself. If I practiced these tools with the intention of sharing them, then I would be able to slow down enough to experience them. And that changed everything. So, as always, thank you for letting me share my practice with you. Today, we're going to talk about something that doesn't get talked about enough, and that is the art of standing still. Have you ever had a season where you were doing everything you were supposed to do? You're working harder than you ever have. You're thinking more, you're planning more, you're trying to stay positive, and somehow nothing is moving. Not the relationship, not the money, not the breakthrough, not the clarity. And more, and the more nothing moves, the more you do. So let me ask you a question that may mess with your mind just a little bit. What if the reason nothing is moving in your life isn't because you're not doing enough, but maybe because you're doing too much? Most people don't struggle with manifesting. They struggle with allowing. And we have been trained to believe that effort equals progress. So when things don't move, we push harder, we think more, we try to control everything that we can. But honestly, guys, what if that's the problem? What if effort is the interference? What if all that thinking, the planning, the controlling, all of it is actually the thing that's standing in the way of getting what you want? I want to share a story with you guys. I was newly married. My husband had started a company, so he was working his butt off, basically. I was kind of like a single mom. I was home with the baby, not working, and things were not going well at all. The house note was behind, the car note was behind, and I remember one day when Mario had called once again to say that he was not going to be able to get home. I pulled up to the house and picture this, guys. My baby's in the back sleep. She's strapped in quietly. I walk up to the front door, and there it was. Foreclosure notice. Tape slightly crooked, like someone had just slapped it on and didn't even care that it was straight. And honestly, before I even got to the notice, I my stomach dropped before I could even finish reading it. And I remember thinking, this is not the vision. This is not the vision. This is not the vision I had for my life. So I did what we all do when we do. First, I panicked, and then I thought more, and I planned more, and I tried to control everything because if I just did this much, if I just did this, if I just did this, I could get everything back on track. Because in my mind, doing all of this is what it meant to be a responsible adult and what an adult looked like. I mean, for God's sake, I was a parent, I was a wife at this point on that. So I just kept trying and pushing and doing more. And then one day I looked around. And I remember saying out loud that my life is a bad country song. Minus the pickup. I had the dog, okay? But and it made me giggle. Oh my God, it made me crack up. I just started laughing until there were tears in my eyes. Not the cute laughter on that one, but that laughter that just releases everything. And because something had shifted. In that laugh, I became available. I just stopped interfering. Call it intuition, call it alignment, either way, there's a signal that you can't hear when there's too much noise going on. And that laugh made me become available to hear it. What we call effort, guys, is actually tension. A lot of what we call control is actually fear. and none of it is helping. I submit this, your next step can't compete with your panic. So if you're panicked about all the situations, everything, and you're doing on that one, you can't get to the next step because force creates fiction. Stillness is what creates coherence. And that coherence creates clear next steps, not because you stopped doing, but because you stopped interfering. When you stop pushing, you can actually hear the signal, your intuition. Notice what's already working, the evidence, and allow the timing, people, and situations and solutions to meet you. Standing still is not doing nothing. It's removing the interference. Now, I need to be clear about something because this is where people get it wrong. Stillness is not freezing. Freezing is fear. That's a survival response. It makes you feel smaller. Stillness is presence. After freezing, you feel contracted. And we've talked about this before, but after stillness, you feel clearer. And honestly, guys, stillness isn't just a spiritual idea, it's a nervous system state. The decisions, your nervous system can't create clarity when it thinks you're in danger or you're having an emergency. So when you slow your body down, you change the quality of your decisions. Surrender. Surrender is not passive. You're not giving up on action. You're giving up on control of how, those wicked hows that we always talk about. Um, it's saying, I'm available for the next step. I'm not attached to the script. And allowing is not waiting. Waiting says, I'll be happy when it works. Allowing says, I'm open now. Show me what's next. So, that house, it did go into foreclosure. It really did. And then something happened that I couldn't have planned if I had tried. My accountant bought it. So instead of us losing everything, he let us rent it back. Same house, same keys, different reality. And later, when it was time to buy again, because I wasn't giving up on having my dream house, we qualified for a program that required no home ownership. So think about that. The thing I was trying so hard to save, the house, I wanted it so bad, trying to get everything straight, was the exact thing that would have disqualified me for the dream house I was asking for. That vision I had where I wanted to raise my family and if we had kept everything as it was and actually had done what I said, we would have been disqualified for the program. And with that program, we bought our dream house. I mean, down to the Japanese maple growing on the side yard. That picture right there is the picture of our first Christmas of the girls, the first Christmas there. So in the manifesting lab, we don't talk about this. We test this kind of stuff. So I want to, as we're closing out everything, I want to run a quick experiment together, if you don't mind. First, I want you to settle. Take a deep breath and exhale longer than you inhaled. So inhale for 4, exhale for 5. Let your shoulders drop. We want your body to get the message that you're safe enough to see clearly. Mm. Now soften. Release the argument with reality right now. That thing that you have going on in your head right now, stop mentally wrestling it. Leave it alone for a moment. Another deep breath. Sense. Now ask one clean question. What's the simplest, truest next step? Not the 10-step plan, not the 5-year strategy. What's the simplest, true next step? You got it? All right. do that thing. Mm. Then once you do that thing, stop and listen again. Simple as that. Stillness is the moment you stop negotiating with reality and start cooperating with it. Universe has bigger plans for us than we can ever do ourselves. Our point is to allow it. Our standard is to simply allow and let it be. Be still. Listen. Stop negotiating. Mm. Yep. That's it, guys. Once again, thank you for allowing me to share my practice with you. This one's important. I want to make sure that you focus on standing still and allowing, because that's going to be the beginning to a lot of beautiful things for you. Let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.